What about all the folks, especially the younger people, who say that the future is crypto?
I say crypto's fine.
How do you value that? What is the sort of process with which you would use?
Well, I'm using it as insurance, and it's an insurance against the 37 trillion that we owe. Of course, we do have a government shutdown, but at least it's not connected to a deadline involving, refinancing for the government, which is really good. The government shutdown is not done at the same time as a possible cataclysm of not paying bills. But I don't know. I think that crypto I'm not valuing it as fun. I'm valuing it as anti what the younger people think is our country's problems. They may know that one.
Right.
But then again, maybe my generation never has to see it. And their generation is going to have to live with what happens.
Hey, what's going up, Bull Runners? Welcome back to the channel. Ryan Huggins here, aka Win with Ryan. Buckle up, because imagine waking up tomorrow to a check from the government for $1,000 to $2,000 wired straight into your account. No strings attached. But here's the twist, and it's got everyone whispering in the shadows of Wall Street and crypto Twitter. It's all funded by tariffs that could quietly supercharge Bitcoin as a hedge against the chaos. President Trump just floated this rebate idea today, pulling from billions in tariff cash pouring in. It's not just free money, it's the signal that inflation is going away. And if history's any guide, assets like Bitcoin thrive when fiat feels fragile. Stick around, because I'm going to break it all down for you, how this could flip your portfolio from red to green before this week's out. We will head over to X to find out all the breaking news happening in the crypto world today. One of the most viral tokens out there right now, which is Plasma, well, their founder is denying insider trading with this 50% plunge. We're going to head over to Altcoin Pro and check in with one of our top analysts. He has a new project to keep an eye out for, Oro. We will also be jumping into the charts for XRP, looking for very important levels of resistance and support that you need to know about right now, plus our long-term and short-term momentum wave, and so much more in today's video. So if you're like most people where you don't have the opportunity to spend hours a day doing crypto research, well, that's what we do for you every day on this channel. So make sure you subscribe right now. And if you are still feeling bullish about this current bull run, let us all know by commenting 777 down below.
Do you love crypto, but are you worried about taxes shrinking your retirement nest egg? Here's the deal. Trading and selling crypto can trigger capital gains taxes, eating into your wealth. A crypto IRA fixes that. Per IRS publication 590B, traditional IRA gains like those from crypto aren't taxed until distributed. That's why we've partnered with iTrust Capital, a leading crypto IRA company in the USA, to sponsor today's video. And they offer institutional grade custody for retail clients that want to set up their crypto IRAs for retirement, leveraging top storage solutions like Fidelity, Wells Fargo, and Coinbase Prime to keep your assets secure. To get started, simply click the link in the description of this video, sign up for free, and fund your account with cash. They also offer 401k rollovers or crypto transfers, and you can trade 24/7 with just 1% transaction fees and no maintenance costs. As always, I'm not a CPA or financial advisor, so consult one for tax advice, and we do earn a commission if you sign up using our link below to fund your crypto IRA account, but that helps support value-based videos like this. And iTrust Capital already has over 200,000 crypto IRA accounts and over $14 billion in transactions, proving they're trusted by smart investors just like you. So click the link below, get started now by funding your account today, and let's create generational wealth together.
As you saw in the intro of the video, Jim Cramer saying he thinks crypto is going to be fine. He treats it as insurance. What's really interesting is, for the first time in a very long time, we have not experienced an immediate inverse Cramer. Usually when he says something within 24 hours, the opposite happens. Well, he said he supports crypto and it's going up. So hopefully we can actually maintain the up levels. And we'll check on that when we get to the charts here shortly, because there are some very positive signs leading into that big moment that's about to happen for us October 6th. You need to stick around for that. And Justin, you probably have heard the news, because it's the most important news we've heard all week, all month, all year. President Trump says he is considering a $1,000 to $2,000 stimulus check for all taxpayers using the tariff revenue. Now, here's what's really interesting. If you remember, back during COVID, when everything went down, we then had the stimulus checks that were launched out into the public. And what did everyone do with their stimulus check? They pumped it into crypto. And that was when the biggest altcoin season I was ever part of happened. Basically, every single token in the entire world went to the upside a tremendous amount. We have Autism Capital commenting down below with the infamous money printer from Jerome Powell. So buckle up, ladies and gentlemen. Now, this was an interesting take on this scenario because Leading Report also talked about this on their post. Basically, everyone on X was posting this when it came out a couple of hours ago. But Luke Rutkowski had an interesting point as well. How about just stop taxing us? What if we just didn't pay taxes? I'm sure you guys all did your taxes for 23, 24, 25 is coming up. If you got an extension, you got a little bit more time. Well, the good news is you were probably taxed more than $1,000. What if you just didn't have to pay tax? So I like Luke's idea here better because the tariff revenue could pay all of the taxes. As we've heard President Trump himself say, it's going to be the External Revenue Service collecting money to pay the debts. And bullish news, Satoshi Nakamoto's net worth has climbed back above $130 billion with none of his Bitcoin ever sold. Is he still alive? Is he a myth? Is it the NSA? I don't know. Let me know your idea down below. Who is Satoshi Nakamoto? And the biggest breaking news I've been seeing all around, now this is from Coinvo. I cannot 100% verify this post. I've been searching all around, but I've seen this saying rumor here, rumor there. U.S. Treasury has exempted Ethereum from 15% corporate tax. And under that post, we do see right here, Grok, is this true? And it says, yes, recent IRS guidance, notice 2025-49, allows corporations to exclude unrealized gains on digital assets like Ethereum for the 15% corporate alternative minimum tax, or CAMT calculations, if certain conditions are met. It's not a full exemption, but an elective adjustment. So this is really interesting that this came out right here and stating this, because do you know what has become the most popular thing for 2025? All these companies doing corporate crypto treasuries. So now, what if they already knew this tax loophole was coming? Because it seems really strange that all of a sudden all these businesses are really trying to absorb as much crypto as possible, whether it's Ethereum or Bitcoin, Solana, we've seen XRP, but they're all getting ahead of this 15% corporate alternative minimum tax. And as we can see, as we dig a little deeper in the comments, great post here by Lily in the comments, misleading headline, it's for all digital assets, not just Ethereum. Check the IRS notice. Also bullish news, Robinhood CEO Vlad Tenev says tokenization is an unstoppable freight train set to become the default for global stock access and reshape the financial system. And this is very positive news for Ripple and XRP. And big breaking news with valuations of companies today. As you heard yesterday, Elon Musk is now worth himself personally over $500 billion. Well, the world's most valuable private companies, we have OpenAI now officially as of today, valued at $500 billion. Then we have SpaceX, Elon Musk's company, $400 billion. What a lot of people don't know, though, is Elon Musk was actually one of the founders of OpenAI, gave it all up when this guy right here decided to take it to a for-profit company. Elon is definitely not happy about that. He's made it very clear all over X that he does not like the fact that Altman has taken it and turned it into a private company for profit. Then number 3 is ByteDance at $330 billion, owner of TikTok, but now they've officially sold that to Larry Ellison and his partners. We have Anthropic at $183 billion, XAI at $113 billion. When you take XAI and SpaceX and combine those two together, gets you over $500 billion for Mr. Elon Musk. Databricks at $100 billion, Stripe at $92 billion, Revolut at $70 billion, Shine at $66 billion, and Canva at $42 billion. Now, the biggest news that was going around all week was that Ripple was going to be going down hard. It's going to not have any success anymore because of the fact that Swift chose Chainlink. Well, here's what's interesting. Brad Garlinghouse has come out with a response, and this is what it says. Swift announced it has built a prototype for blockchain-based shared ledger to be added to its infrastructure stack, initially focusing on real-time cross-border payments. I've received a number of questions this week about this, and what it means for the industry and Ripple. Frankly, it made me realize I haven't shared enough recently about the thoughts that I have around who we view as our core competitors. And perhaps I will spend some time on a competitive landscape in an upcoming note. I digress. It is true, in the early days, we did view Swift as a major competitor, but the reality is in time, it's taken for them to announce a prototype. We've been building robust digital asset infrastructure, expanding on our payments product, adding on stable coins and development of the XRPL and more with recent acquisitions. Also, we dug into the Swift news and it really seems more like a marketing play in the lead up to their annual conference of Cybos rather than the actual meaningful product announcement. And we do have a great product announcement for Ripple on top of that response from Brad Garlinghouse. Well, meet J.I.O. Anchieli, cryptographer and RippleX Senior Director of Engineering. In his Ripple Insights post, he shares why he joined Ripple, what lies ahead of XRPL, and how his team is building the privacy, scale, and reliability institutions need to move finance on-chain with confidence. And this is a really big deal because, as we all know, David Schwartz has just stepped down from Ripple, and now we get to meet J.I.O. Anchieli. Now, without privacy, financial institutions cannot safely use public ledgers. Without accountability, regulators cannot sign off. With programmable privacy, we can have both. So we did have a big shakeup in the markets for Plasma. As you all know, Plasma is ripping significantly to the upside, only to have a rather hardcore crash over the last couple of days, as we can see here in the charts. Founder Paul Fakes jumped on X to deny these insider dumps. He says no team members have sold any XPL. Investor and team allocations are locked for 3 years with a 1-year cliff. On-chain sleuths did spot 600 million XPL moving to exchanges pre-launch from a team-linked wallet, and some blame market maker Wintermute for a sneaky TWAP sell-off that's time-weighted average price to dump without crashing the chart. Fakes shut that down too. We've never worked with them. He went on to say, we have not engaged Wintermute as a market maker and never contracted with Wintermute for any of their services. He also said, we have the same information as the public on Wintermute's ownership of XPL. And this matters because Plasma is built for cheap, fast stablecoin payments on an EVM compatible chain. Huge for DeFi if it stabilizes, but trust is everything in crypto, and this FUD could definitely scare off buyers and liquidity. XPL's up 5 to 15% today on the denial, but watch the 80-cent support level. If you're trading alts, this is a volatility play. Buy the dip if you believe the information about those locked coins, or steer clear until volume rebounds. So as we look at a live chart of XPL, it did an absolute moonshot to the upside and started to break down on September 27th. Looks like we may have found a bottom here on October 1st with a little rally and a double bottom. We're going to continue watching this. We'll do a little bit of charting on this here in a couple of minutes. Heading over to Altcoin Pro, a coin that you should be taking a look at, do some research on with us. New projects called Oro. Oro is a gold tokenized platform on Solana that bridges the value of physical gold with the efficiency of blockchain. Each token is backed by real gold reserves, making it a stable, trusted asset that can be traded, transferred, or used within the DeFi ecosystems. And you may be wondering, well, why does this matter? Well, with the rise of gold prices, tokenized gold is coming into focus, and this opens up the possibility to use it in DeFi and borrow against a relatively stable asset. The key features of Oro is gold-backed stability, each token tied to real gold reserves, borderless access, own and transfer gold globally instantly, DeFi integration, use tokenized gold in lending, staking, and trading, transparency and security. It is audible with reserves and on-chain settlement, and then you can redeem it. You can get the physical gold delivered to your home, but KYC, know your customer, is required. There is yield to be earned on this. The gold can be leased out for 3 to 5% APY, which I don't recommend for now, he says. Meteora has gold USDC liquidity pools, low volume at the moment. Where can you buy this? Well, the gold contract address is listed here. If you're a member of Altcoin Pro University, you can find this over there. Come over there And all you have to do is copy and click the address here. You can buy on Oro. KYC is required. We've also got a link jumps right there, or you can buy on Jupiter. Some thoughts on this token. Oro takes one of the oldest stores of value and upgrades it to the Web3 era by merging gold's stability with blockchain's benefits. It could become a go-to safe haven for both traditional and DeFi users. However, the DeFi integration isn't there yet, and the real value will come with the ability to borrow against gold. Oro is also running a points program where you can get nuggets, which might lead to a potential airdrop in the future. So again, like I said, if you like these types of updates, we have market updates that come out every single day. We have altcoin pick information that comes out. We have DeFi yield opportunities that continue to be delivered, altcoin airdrop opportunities, crypto news that comes out every single day, and community picks, plus post your wins. We got an APU picks, Altcoin Pro University altcoin picks are up 288% returns in September. If you're looking for more info like this, head to the link down in the description, click on it, get started today. We have a 14-day money-back guarantee. So we'll do some quick charting on XPL before we jump into XRP. On the daily charts, none of our indicators are rolling through yet because it's such a new coin. One thing I will say that price has been dropping over the past 4 days, then bottomed, and right now we're still continuing to see some bleeding out to the downside. If we switch over to Heikin-Ashi candles and we go to the 4-hour charts, we can see the absolute move to the upside with no stopping until here. So what I would see as price does begin to recover, when price recovers, we could see a return to this level right here, and it will run into a pretty heavy duty resistance there. As we drop to the 1-hour Heikin-Ashis, let's see if we've got anything in this area. We do not. Again, all green all the way up into that same level. Let's go to the 30-minute chart. As we can see right here, 30 minutes was nothing but a run to the upside as well. 15 minutes. All right, so this is our first little check right here. So price ran all green until we got right here to this level. We got our first interest area of red. So this will be a supply and demand zone. That would be somewhere I would interest as a bottom. So if we go into the current time zone where we're at right now, price dipped, rejected off that level, came back down, dipped fully in it. And you can see it is holding that level now. So there is a potential that we start to see a return to the upside. It's currently sitting at 90 cents. If it does have a nice bounce and rally to the upside here, we'd be looking at $1.15. It's going to run into some interference there. If we switch back to the hourly candles, we take a look. Short-term momentum has zeroed out. It did start trying to turn back up. Long-term momentum still bearish on the hourly. Once this thing does get back above the zero line, though, we could see a nice rally for XPL. So I would be waiting for the Wolfpack indicator. These are the settings that I use. Fast length 10, slow length of 30. Wolfpack indicator, free indicator on TradingView. I'd wait for it to clear and break all the way through above the zero line, turning green, indicating back to bullish. We can see that short-term momentum still riding down, meaning it's ready to make its move to the upside as well. So that could be happening very soon. The biggest thing is, did the team sell? Like, is this an insider trading sell-off? If it is, it could really diminish this coin and tarnish it forever. But if it's not, and it is just a market making, people taking profit opportunity, then we could see a significant rally to the upside. So as we know, this was a stop that'll probably run into on its way up. And then the next level that I would be taking a look at is here at $1.55. Once you break above this $1.69 though, price discovery mode kicks in for XPL. So keep an eye on that one. All right, checking in XRP, our supply and demand zones that we've been talking about. One, we said we needed to break above this level here of $2.92, and it was going to make a rally. Well, I was actually doing some charting earlier this afternoon. We didn't have that button there. I just plugged it in because as you saw, right now we're working on Heikin-Ashi candles. And what I like to do is go to the last up move before a massive green drop, which is this green candle right there. And that is our current supply and demand zone that we need to break above. We need to break above $3.13, and then we can make our next move. Now, we are going to immediately run into a little bit heavier resistance again. So we need a pretty massive volume to get us above $3.18. So that way we can start making our move, which our next move gets us into that $3.30 level. And this is where I really would like to see us break out of. So as you can see, last time we had this massive move before the sell-off. It did retest and it came down and retested again, but it ultimately failed. So this is going to be our zone of interest right here. You can see the pricing is at $3.29 to $3.33. After we can break through that with some solid volume to the upside on XRP, then we'll take a look at the last move to the upside. Then it came down, retested that level and came down. So this is the highest level right here before the actual drop. So we're going to take this candle, and that's where I see the next level of resistance based off of supply and demand zones. Okay, so that gets us up to 350. Now, what we can also take a look at here is traditional weekly close body candles, supply and demand levels for traditional candles. So we'll take a look here. Regular traditional candles. We talked about this yesterday. We needed to break above this closed body candle on the weekly of $2.94. And we finally did that. So let's move to the dailies here. We did break above this one officially yesterday. So let's move that one there. Then we needed to break above this level here, which was $3.02. You can see we did a pretty good job of that. But unfortunately, we're failing just a tad. Our long-term momentum, this is really positive. One of two things are going to happen. We're super close. So either over the next 24 to 48 hours, we're actually going to fall back down and potentially retest this 272 levels again, or we're going to continue this bullish momentum. We're going to start ripping to the upside, and that's going to lead us into the new full moon phase, which will be kicking off right here for October 6th. So we're already kind of getting a head start into the October 6th full moon. Last time we had a full moon, solid pump to the upside. 2 prior full moons to that, an absolute tear to the upside. What we've been talking about now for over a week is price getting up to the $3 level, holding this level as a support, and then either continuing its momentum up before the 6th or just trading sideways here. If it just trades sideways and gets into accumulation mode, that is totally fine. Then we rip to the upside, because this level right here, $3.02, is also a weekly candle body close that we did break through, but this is a very important level that is trying to break through again right now. So we need to break through that level. After that, then we can clear up into here, $3.18, which is going to be a resistance, but we bust through that. Then we can get to 345. So you can see how on these supply and demand zones, now we've added too many. Let's just go ahead and we'll remove this one. But these supply and demand zones also obviously coincide with our weekly closed body candle support and resistance levels. Now, on top of that, let's jump over to our weekly spider lines chart. I know everyone loves this one the most. So we're going to take a look at spider lines. Okay. So as far as spider lines go, if you're new here, if you go back in history and you take the drop of 2018 on a weekly basis, and then you use the pivot point or fulcrum point from the high of April 2021, and you draw a ray using the ray tool on TradingView, it actually shoots out support and resistance zones into the future that we didn't even know that were there, but they were programmed by the matrix. So anyway, as we can see right here on our weekly spider lines, price did break through our green spider line, and then it made it up into our next level, which is this gray color spider line. And you can see we wicked into it and kind of rejected below it. After we break through this one at 305, the next level is going to be 315. That 315 level on everything, whether it's spider lines, traditional weekly supply and demand, support and resistance, it's all there. It has to break this 315. It is a very important key level. Then we can start making our move to the next one, which is $2.30 or $3.30. It says 328, but it's really $3.30, which needs to bust. Okay. And we've been talking about this too, because what do we have? We have this big, massive bull flag pattern that's playing out. Right here is the flag pole. You put it at the breakout level. Now, what we did have is a break and retest of that support resistance line. And we are starting to make that move to the upside, which our red line we drew out a couple of weeks ago. it's playing out right now. As our bull flag pattern plays out to the upside, 465 is the actual full play out. There's a likelihood it could run all the way up to the next spider line of 493. Personally, I'm looking for a 450, right? If I'm taking profit on this bull flag trade, 450. A lot of times it doesn't make it to the full extension, and it may not make it to the full spider line. Now, again, this is on traditional candles. Check this out. When we switch it to logarithmic candles and we take a look at our spider lines here. So also very interesting scenario. Price on our spider line here, it tapped it at 275, 277, 280. It did even liquidity grab below it before making its next move to the upside. Logarithmic resistance is at $3.60. Short-term momentum, green and red, absolutely flying to the upside, looking very positive. This is on the daily. Midterm momentum also trailing behind it, very positive. Look, last time short-term happened right here, it didn't really do much, kind of just stalled out until midterm momentum kicked in right here and absolutely started moving to the upside. We also have our long-term momentum. Last time it stalled out for 34 days, it had the big boost, came down. This one stalled out for 22 days, and it just had a little bloop, nothing major there, unfortunately. But now it came back down and it's making its way to the upside. It has not officially crossed this line yet. Okay, so we can't get too excited. It's currently sitting at 11 days. We need to have this actually cross it with some good momentum, which short-term, midterm shows it's actually going to do that, even if we had one stalled day. But usually we have a little bit of a pullback overnight. And in fact, if you want to be in reality, we have these fair value gaps to the downside that need to be filled. And if we take a look at fair value gaps, there is a really solid fair value gap still remaining right here to fill that full fair value gap. This is a 342. Okay, so there is a possibility though, overnight leading into the morning, it pulls back and it fills this fair value gap down here to like $2.96. That would also then bring it back, retest off of the 30 exponential, 50 exponential, and 10. They're all converging right here at once. And then we see it rise to the upside. So those are my two scenarios that I'm watching for right now. So ultimately, I'm looking for price to climb above the $3 level and sit here for a support leading into the 16th or the 6th, the full moon, and launch to the upside. There is a possibility we come back down, retest these moving averages and bounce off of there. That would bring us back to a $2.93, $2.95. If we lose all that, and this was all fake, it's just a not a real pump. The government shutdown was exciting news and it was fake, then we could be coming back down to 281. Now, the reason why I say that is because if you look at this current market structure, we had a higher high, then a lower high, and now this is another lower high. But as you know, I'm a perma bull. I'm looking for this bull flag pattern to play out to the upside. So take a look at this.
Hey, bull runners, check this out. If you want to learn how to find the next 10x, 50x, or even 100x altcoin in this video, listen to this. Our research team posted GOAT on the 13th of October of 2024 when it was right at a penny, and since then it rallied to over $1 and it's currently still up over 5,000%. That's like turning $1,000 into over $50,000. Our team called Pendle at only a $16 million market cap, or 16 cents, back on February 18th of 2023, all the way back here, and since then it's rallied up over 4,000%. That's a 40x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $40,000. Our team also called BitTensor Tau September 15th, 2022, before the token was ever even launched. And since then, Tau has rallied over 2,000%. That's a 20x. Our team even said Solana is most likely to be one of the easiest trades next year, and this was posted December 29th, 2022, on the day that Solana bottomed out at around $8. And since then, Solana looks like it's up over 2,500%. That's a 25x. It's like turning $1,000 into over $25,000. And the bull run is just getting started. The list goes on and on and on. Our team called Sui, Ondo, and even some of the biggest cult-based meme coins like MOG back in July 20th of 2023, the day that MOG launched. So if you want to learn how our team is finding these altcoins before they explode, we just launched Altcoin Pro University, where our research team gives you real-time altcoin picks with explosive potential for this bull run, along with 100+ expert curated classes crafted by industry experts to discover these gems yourself, on top of our live weekly calls every single week for in-depth crypto market analysis and daily updates. And that's just a fraction of what we offer inside of Altcoin Pro University. Just go through the link in the description below, get in right now, watch the 26-minute video covering everything that Altcoin Pro University offers.